Hello guys, welcome to another video. This is round 2 with a new holiday release from Charlotte Tilbury, Beautyverse Eyeshadow Palette. And this is me second time trying this one. Yesterday was first impressions and I used so many shades. And today I incorporated shades that I haven't used yesterday, being Cosmic Pink and Golden Galaxy. If you would like to see the whole procedure, how I achieved this look and my final thoughts, then I suggest you stick around watching this video. And if content like this gives you value, I would really appreciate it you subscribing to this channel. However, I really do love today's look, especially this in the middle, the combination of this topper. I wouldn't just say this is a topper. For a topper, it is super pigmented, unless you're going to really sheer it down, but it can get really pigmented, as you can see. And that's one thing that I love. I don't think that this pink shade is complimenting me that well, but I try to use everything that I can from this palette, and I gave this palette today again another round. Without any further ado, let's jump into this tutorial so you can see how you can achieve this look. Yesterday I did not use this Cosmic Pink shade, which is Future Matte, and I'll say this is the only true matte in this eyeshadow palette. So I will start off with that, and also I will apply. This is Pat McGrath Intensify Eyes Eyeshadow Primer. By the way, I am so excited for her new holiday release, and spoiler alert, I ordered a whole collection, like literally every single product of this holiday collection from Pat McGrath, and I cannot wait to review that one. And obviously it's going to be split in so many videos to make a full in-depth video with every single eyeshadow palette that she has. Now, like I said, I'm going in with the Cosmic Pink. Of course, it is Charlotte Tilbury, so she has to have like a pink shade. And oh, I don't know what is going to happen once I blend this. But the thing with her eyeshadows yesterday was that they were so sheer, except for, I would say, this silvery bluish shade right there. Everything else was, especially mattes, were so sheer. Definitely to blend this now. And I'll see how it's going to go. Because I did apply a lot of the product. Usually I would take, if I've done this, I would take brush like this, which is a little bit more harsher bullet brush, just to work on the edges. But this is what I'm saying. I'm guessing, even though, look how much of a color do I have. I think now this is gonna go really sheer, you guys. Let me take a clean brush. Can you see how this goes really sheer? That's something that I don't like. It's like it overblends. I don't know. Well, we'll see what is going to happen. But first, let me blend this really well. Applying a little bit more color as well. I'm adding even more color in my inner corner, and it's like a halo eye technique what I'm doing right now. So I was inspired for the second look to do either halo or spotlight. I will again take my time and blend this really well, and I'll go once again with the color. Also, what we do miss in this palette is either lighter matte or a shimmery shade. You would think this shade right here, but it is a topper. Could be something that you could use, but not really. It's too shimmery to lighten up underneath your eyebrows. That's one thing I miss. So in a way, this look, in my opinion, just with this palette cannot be like the perfect look. Like, as much as I love this idea, as I'm working with this palette, and it's my personal preference, I'm seeing all the flaws that it has when it comes to, you know, color story. And also with the product itself, like when it comes to blendability and everything. I know it's the same shade once again, and just going to apply with the tip of my brush, take the excess off and go again, doing the same again. And also I will really work around the edges just to blend everything onto my skin. At this point I am working with the same brush, so basically I had 3 brushes. So the first one being the bullet brush with which I applied, packed the color, then the second one where I blended that color, and then the clean one for the more blendability and the edges. You can generally use that as a kind of a rule for blending eyeshadows whenever you are doing something like this or when you want more opacity of the eyeshadow. Now I'm gonna go into this shade Virtual Toe with a smaller brush, and I will apply this one the way I applied previous shade in that shape, but just lower. So that way I can combine these two colors. I just need to make sure to not lose too much of this pink. And I'm using smaller brush for this. First I am packing the eyeshadow, but just because it is smaller area to work with, now I do prefer just working with this brush first. This definitely still needs to go higher. It is a little bit kind of a weird moment right here because these two shades in a depth are pretty much similar. The undertone is way different, but it goes beautifully together. Like if this shade was this undertone but darker, it would go even better with this one. But yeah, just working that one around the edges. I'm gonna take blending brush, a little bit of a product. Of course, take the excess off and try to blend this even more and higher with the previous shade. Now, one important thing is when you look at the mirror, just make sure that both of, if possible, that both of these shades are, when you're looking straight, you can visually like see them. Otherwise, what can happen when you close your eyes, it can look beautiful, but when you open your eyes, the only thing you see is just one color because the other one is too low. So just make sure to both apply makeup while having your eyes closed and open to see what is going on. Now, as I am limited to a color choice, color depth in here, I will go with the only darker shade that we have, if I can call this a dark shade. For me, this is more like medium dark, which is this shade Space Chocolate, and I will apply just a tiny bit, and I have fallout, tiny bit of a amount, just on the one edge, and now in my inner corner, just let me show you better, just like so. And I will also drag this little color. I will drag this darker color. At least these are forgiven shades when you messed up. This is why it's easier to work with this one. Last time, what it was? Anastasia Beverly Hills palette. I touched my skin above where I needed. And I was like, oh, who's gonna take this off? It was so pigmented. Yeah, starting from here to diffuse that right here. I'm not going in the middle because I want to have like the depth between the darkest and then like that middle pop of the color. Now we're going to create this stunning halo eyes effect, and I'm gonna show you how. So first we need a base. We need to lighten up the center so that everything can go so beautiful. And it's not even done yet. So that everything in the center can be lighter, and for that I'm gonna be using, because I don't have my what it was, Plus Base number 1, no, 0 I think, yeah, but I have to order them soon. So I combined these two products, which are by Makeup by Mario new concealer and the Beautyverse Stage Foundation in the shade 0W, and I'm gonna start slowly in the center, and then I'm gonna make my way up, and I will use this brush. Little brush is perfect for this because it already has the shape. So here I'm gonna go like more narrow than right here, and I'm slowly starting to create a shape. Make sure when you do this technique that you go higher than when you open your eyes so that it doesn't transfer onto your lid. And you know, usually to make stuff like this you need Vaseline, but because we haven't touched the middle when it comes to eyeshadows, we don't need it. And so this is how it should look like. So on top it's a bit wider when when you go towards your lash line, it has to be a little bit more narrow. And try to blend the edges, like as much as you can. So excited, I haven't done this technique for a while now. NYX glitter primer goes, that almost went into my eye. It goes right into the, it goes right on top of what I have already done. And as I always say, make sure to spread this product equally. I'm gonna apply a little bit of fixing spray onto my brush. Gonna go into this gorgeous topper, and you'll see now how when you apply it, when you swatch it, it seems like it's really sheer, but look what happens when you apply it with a brush. It's not that sheer, right? And it's gorgeous. Now, one thing that I'll say, leave the edges, because we will go with the other shimmer. And we still need to blend this. Yes, it is gorge. Now I'm gonna go into shade Golden Galaxy. This is the shade that I haven't used yesterday. And I'm gonna take tiny little brush, blend this one into the edges. And this one, since it is much more suitable for color story with the matte, it will blend nicely. Now for my liner, I went with the Ingles MC Gel Eyeliner in number 77, but also you can go with a warm-toned, deep, kind of a chocolatey brown color as well. And I'm going in with the Ardell's 421 lashes. Now I'm gonna move on to a lower lash line, and I am starting by applying some base. And now for the eyeliner, I went with the shade Harvest from the Danessa Myricks Groundwork 4 palette. This is kind of a deeper, warm-toned shade that will match beautifully the rest of the makeup. Making sure everything is covered, and I will also smudge this color a little bit outside of my lash line. Because here the problem is with the, with the darkest shade in a palette without the base, it seems like it is too sheer. So first underneath, I'm starting with this shade right here. Yeah, I should have applied that one first, actually. It's easier. I don't want to disrupt the previous one. Just gonna take a blending brush. So when you're doing this, apply this shade first and then go back with this liner that I've done now. Now I'm gonna go in with this shade right here, the first shade. Yeah, these are definitely not matte shades, you guys. Like the only true matte in this palette is this pink right here. And now using this shade right here, just going to smudge it all over my lash line. Now I will finish off the rest of my face and I will be right back with you. And here it is, final look with a Beautyverse eyeshadow palette, second look that I created. Do I prefer this one or the last one? Personally, I don't think that cosmic pink color is looking flattering on me. What I do love is this combination of this topper and then this beautiful golden, which is called Golden Galaxy shade. I think that one is stunning. I wish this palette had a little bit more of a depth. Do I think this palette worth $75? The packaging definitely justifies the price. As I said, I love this packaging. Eyeshadows, however, depending on do you really need them. And one thing that confuses me, first row calling matte eyeshadow, when clearly this is the only one that is matte. These are more like a satin, feeling like a cream, but definitely not like a regular matte. So I wouldn't say that this palette suits my personal preference, but I'm talking mainly about formulation. I do love the undertones that she made here, but unfortunately the performance of the eyeshadows, for me personally, is not something that I prefer. However, if you are a beginner or if you would love to use this palette on a daily basis, maybe this is something you'd like. But again, the big question is, are you a fan of the shimmers? Are you a fan of the glitters? And these colors that really pop, especially this one in the middle. That's a big question. Anyways, I will finish off this video. If you haven't watched my first impressions review of this palette, here it is, and here you can watch it, and I suggest you to watch this video next, especially if you are thinking of purchasing this palette. Maybe this will be helpful for you to see how can you use this palette in various ways. And I used so many eyeshadows yesterday. Anyways, that will be everything for today, and thank you guys for hanging out with me, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.